All right. Hey, couple quick things. I know we've had an incredibly hype week. I actually sense right now that you guys are just a little tired. I just kind of, no? No, okay, all right. We'll wait till the pep rally and we'll bring it back up. Now, a couple quick things before we start our time together this morning. You may be asking yourself, and you may not be asking yourself, what is homecoming? I mean, we've had so much fun. We had an incredible field day. We've had incredible dress-up days. But here is really the heart of homecoming. For any school who does something like this, the idea is that we are celebrating our unity. We're celebrating those who have come before us, those who have graduated. It's actually, they're coming home. They're coming back, and they're remembering and reflecting on what God has done in their lives and their experience here. Last night at the soccer game, I had the joy of talking to several graduates from last year who made their way to the soccer game. They've come home. That's what homecoming is about. So as we have had a ton of fun this week, today is a different kind of chapel. No games, no points awarded, but this is a time for us to kind of still our hearts and quiet our spirits today, to listen to and to recognize and honor some people who have gone before us and who are being recognized as the young alumnus and the legacy alumnus of the year. So we're going to have a good time together with that, all right? I'm going to ask Mr. Thornton to come out, and he's going to introduce our first guest.
All right, good morning. It was in the summer of 2017 that I was at Peninsula State Park in Door County camping with my family. I'm not a camper, but we endured. And it was in the morning one morning that we were at the beach, and adjacent to the beach was this playground. And my kids were playing on the playground, but my eyes were on the water, absolutely transfixed, as dozens of little sailboats wound their way to the shore. And I was amazed at this because as they got closer, I saw little kids on the sailboats at the helm. And they pulled their vessels to shore, ran off in all sorts of exuberance toward the concession stand, taking a break. And following them was their fearless leader. And much to my surprise, the person I saw just years earlier had been in my AP English class writing sharp analytical essays and standing on this stage leading worship. And in that moment of seeing her lead this little group of sailors, it reminded me of what made her special as a student here. She was full of energy, determination, and joy. And it came as no surprise to me when I learned that this year we are recognizing the distinguished young alumna Annika Pearson, now Munson, graduating class of 2015. And upon graduation, she accepted an appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy, where she studied political science, ran cross country, and graduated in 2019, where she was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps. Annika is unable to join us today because she's expecting her first child and close to her due date, but she recorded this message specially for you, Wheaton Academy. So please give your attention to the distinguished young alumna of the year, Annika Pearson Munson.
Students, my name's Annika Munson. I'm a captain in the Marine Corps, and I'm currently stationed in Annapolis, Maryland, where I'm a leadership and ethics instructor at the United States Naval Academy. I graduated from Wheaton Academy 10 years ago in 2015 after spending 4 formative years on campus. It's hard for me to believe that it's already been a decade since I was in your shoes. Before I get started, I do need to mention that the views expressed in this video are my own, and they're not a reflection of the views of the U.S. Naval Academy or the DoD as a whole. I'm truly honored and humbled to have been nominated as this year's Young Alumna. Surely the nomination is a reflection of the people who have mentored and guided me along the way, many of whom were teachers and coaches at Wheaton Academy. Coach Spivey, Coach Rivera, Coach Underwood, Mr. Mack, Mrs. Gregerson, Mr. Thornton, Mr. Jasper, Mr. Visker. I'm grateful for all that you invested in me. I wish I could be with you in person this weekend, but my husband and I are expecting our first child in November, which precludes me from traveling. The most common question that I get from people at home is how in the world I ended up in the military. My answer is typically along the lines that although on the surface the military may appear culturally very different from Wheaton Academy, the core values of these two organizations have a lot more in common than they differ. Most importantly, a deep focus on service above self. I'm really blessed to have had multiple family members who served in the military and attended the Naval Academy. One of the many reasons that I'm excited to be speaking to you is that I'm passionate about spreading knowledge about what amazing opportunities exist within our country's service academies. And it's an avenue that I don't think very many students are familiar with. By the end of my junior year, I was deeply convinced that the doors being opened to me at USNA were ones I needed to walk through. I felt simultaneously frightened and at peace with that decision. Looking back now, I know the peace that I felt was the Lord guiding my path. And I count myself blessed to have been a student in an environment that challenged me to listen and act when the Lord's direction is clear. Now, I have never been the best in the room at the things I pursue. Not once have I won a cross-country race or played the lead in a musical or been named valedictorian. I do, however, have tenacity to try a lot of things and pursue them to the best of my ability. A significant part of my decision to attend Wheaton Academy had to do with its unique campus environment, where teachers, coaches, and mentors all worked together to create a schedule that allowed me to pursue varied disciplines on top of my standard coursework. Not only did I receive mentorship, but I had leadership opportunities on the cross-country team and the women's soccer team. I was also super grateful to be able to participate in the school musical my freshman and sophomore year and sing for the worship team my junior and senior year. It was certainly a lesson in time management, but it was one that served me well throughout my time in the military. A few months after I graduated from Wheaton Academy, I reported for plebe summer at USNA. I then spent 4 years earning my Bachelor's of Science in Political Science. I ran women's varsity cross country and track for 4 years, and I sang in the Women's Glee Club for 2. The Naval Academy is a really special place to attend college. As midshipmen, we share a love of country and a desire to serve. We're also all working towards a common goal of commissioning as naval officers. At USNA, consistent with the military, all walks of life and all faiths are represented. So though our goals are similar, our paths to that goal and the backgrounds that inform how we get there vary greatly. I found that once I was no longer in an environment where I was surrounded exclusively by believers, my faith journey required effort and intentionality, which ultimately made my faith more personal and reinforced my gratitude for the time that I spent at WA. At service academies, your graduation day not only marks the end of your college experience, but it also serves as the day that you receive your commission as an officer in the United States Armed Forces. At the Naval Academy, there's 2 paths: commission as a naval officer or commission as a Marine Corps officer. I chose the latter, and I'm incredibly proud to wear the Marine Corps uniform. Following graduation, I attended 6 months of training in Quantico, Virginia. This is also where I met my husband, Tanner Munson, who is a fellow squad mate of mine. This is the first photo that we took together, both dressed in shrubbery. I guess when you fall in love looking like that, you know it's the real deal. When I completed my initial training in Quantico, I was assigned to my specific job in the Marine Corps. My specialty is communication strategy and operations. That means that I'm charged with telling the Marine Corps story to U.S. citizens, Congress, partners and allies, and our adversaries. I was based in Okinawa, Japan for 5 exciting years, and I held various jobs while I was there. Leading United States Marines and working with some of the most selfless people our nation has to offer made me a better Christian, daughter, sister, and wife every day. Work opportunities brought me throughout the Asia-Pacific region. I had the opportunity to deploy with units to Australia, the Philippines, Korea, and all over mainland Japan. The highlight of my time in the Indo-Pacific region was the 6 months that I spent living in the Philippines as a military officer on staff at the U.S. Embassy in Manila. With rising tension in the South China Sea as a backdrop, the embassy hosted the Secretary of Defense and almost every member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff during my time there. It was an eye-opening experience to witness diplomacy in action and to better understand how the military fits in the international relations equation. I moved back from Japan just a few months ago with my husband Tanner, and we're both currently working as active duty staff members at the United States Naval Academy. It feels like a full circle moment to be able to invest in the midshipmen here the way so many officers did for me 10 years ago, and it has certainly given me time to reflect on the growth I've experienced over the last decade. My time in the Marine Corps has been challenging, humbling, and character building all at once. I will never take for granted the opportunities that the Lord's given me, allowing me to lead the best of our country, to learn from mentors with irreproachable character, and to immerse myself in new cultures across the globe. My journey in the military has not always been easy, but it's always been rewarding. I'm incredibly grateful for the foundation that Wheaton Academy provided me. The qualities instilled in me as a student, to include compassion, competitiveness, and a faith in something bigger than myself, have allowed me to thrive on my Marine Corps journey, and I hope have also reflected positively on this great school.
What an incredible message of gratitude and tenacity and using the opportunities the Lord gives us. Man, that was fantastic. And there was a great idea for a dress-up day next year for homecoming. Shrubbery Day. What do you guys think? Okay. All right, that's fair. We have another video for you, and this is someone that you know very well, someone who is so near and dear to our hearts, and is not someone who graduated many years ago and we haven't seen them in a long time. We see this very special person every day. She exudes joy. She exudes gratitude and humility in the way she serves this school and she serves you. I want to show you a video of some co-workers reflecting on our distinguished alumna of the year, Dara Fernandez.
She exudes joyfulness.
She laughs a lot, and she loves to laugh with people, and she always has a smile on her face.
Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins is practically perfect in every way, and that is how I would describe Dara. Dara Fernandez, she has the greatest, friendliest personality. She's exactly what you want for someone who works in a front office. She's kind, she's joyful, she laughs a lot. She just brings a lot of joy into our workplace.
Let's think through the eyes of a student who is starting freshman year and is walking down the hallway with their schedule in hand and just not knowing where to go, and popping into the front office looking for direction. Not only are they going to get an answer from Dara on where to go, they're also going to get a calming presence, taking the nerves of that moment and bringing the temperature down.
It's time to get to know people. I think of even just the fun times when kids are signing in or out, coming from doctor's appointments or dentist appointments. She's always following up with them. How are you doing? Checking in on them, and just shows that she genuinely cares about all of the people that come through that front door.
She's just really gifted at helping people know that they're loved and heard and cared for. She just makes you want to be around her.
Dara is the ultimate multitasker. I mean, her job is to do often 5, 6 things at one time. She's done so for almost 20 years. And yeah, I cannot imagine many people being able to sustain that type of multitasking for that long of a period of time.
She just has a way to be able to just approach people with such this sense of calm, but yet still have this high level of expectation and accountability, and she brings that out in people.
Some of the things that she does with, we have dress code clothes, and she does take those home after they're worn and she washes them. She goes looking for new clothes at Goodwill for us to use for kids that get dress coded, and I don't think that's really a part of her job description. I'm not sure how that would get done if she didn't do it. Dara not only has a crazy job, but she helps everyone else do their jobs. She will step in and serve in whatever way is necessary. Anything you need. If she doesn't have a little bag, but it's just in her book of tricks to help everyone and to do it in a way that they feel blessed after their encounter.
I'm thinking back to leading a Scotland winterim trip, another chaperone that needed to drop out, and Dara was more than willing to step in and help in whatever way she could. We experienced some flight delay frustration, so our trip gets extended by another 24 hours. And one student in particular on the trip had some medical needs that emerged, and Dara just stepped right up with a willing attitude and spirit. It was just right by that student's side, providing care all the way home before handoff to parents happened.
I'm so thankful I've gotten to work with her. She's become one of my closest friends, and she's a godly woman, and she helps point me to keep my eyes focused on Christ in the moments where I might feel not so much like doing that. And I'm very thankful for her. It just flows out of who she is, and it's this commitment to loving people, doing her best, and putting other people first because of who Jesus is in her life. She wants to glorify God in all she does.
Oh, so good. I want to welcome Mr. Bolt, Gabby, and Annika. You guys come on up here on stage with me. We want to hear from some people who've been deeply impacted by Dara now. Do you guys know this guy, Mr. Steve Bolt? Look at him, Mr. Matchy Matchy, on a Maroon Day. Come on now. This is Gabby Watson Kelly. Gabby, when did you graduate?
2020.
Okay, so just 5 years ago. And she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience with Dara. And then you guys know Annika Vandervelde, who is TAing in the front office. We're going to hear from them in a second. I don't know if you noticed when you guys were coming in, the pictures of Dara in high school. There was one in particular that's troubled me just a little bit. Mr. Jones, if you could put that one up there. So, Dara, if you could put these on and then report immediately to fourth period, that would be great. Okay. All right, good. All right. Never thought she was going to get dress coded as the distinguished alumna, but she is. Gabby, I know when you were here just a few years ago, you were a teacher's assistant in the front office. Tell us a little bit about, tell us first, what have you been up to these last 5 years?
Well, yeah, I graduated in 2020, which was COVID year, so that was an interesting graduation. I went to college for 2 years while I was working full-time and became a wedding planner and coordinator. And then I opened up a coffee business, and it is in Indiana. So I run that most of my time while I plan weddings still. And a couple weeks ago, I got to plan my own wedding. So, yep, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's been really fun. So I'm freshly Gabby Kelly now.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
That's good. I love that. There's a theme today, guys. Shrubbery Day, you meet a spouse, and then Gabby can help you plan your wedding. This is good. I didn't expect this today. I love it. Gabby, tell us, I know you had a really special relationship with Mrs. Fernandez. Tell us a little bit about that and what she's meant to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was already crying watching that video, so bear with me here. But yeah, when I was asked to talk about Dara, it was right after I had gotten engaged last October. So it was just funny timing, because at the time I remember I got engaged and was so excited, and it hit me. I was like, I am not equipped to be a wife. Like, how am I going to be a wife? And I just kept praying to God, like, show me how to be a wife, show me how to be a strong woman of God and lead this marriage the best I can while being led. And that was really hard for me, and God just reminded me of all the women in my life who have served as just godly women. And Dara was just top of mind. It made me think of just kind of, how are you on and off the field? And I thought of that in my marriage as well, just in my relationship. Like, how am I when I'm not just with Nick and when I'm not just, as a wife together, but how am I off the field? And I thought of Dara. I rarely got to meet your husband or see him, but I was with you every single day, all day. I TA'd for her both semesters, all 4 years. So I just got to see what a godly woman looks like and acts like and talks like and how she loves people. And it doesn't look like always just like reading a Bible passage or praying over them, but truly making them feel so loved when they walk in the door and when they see her. We've talked about it already today, that smile. I was the person that walked in the door. I had never heard of Wheaton Academy. The only person I knew here was my older sister that made me come here and said, you got to come here. You got to get out of that school that I was at. And I walked in the door, and the first person I saw was Dara. And she truly, truly changed my life. I remember I really struggled. I see a lot of teachers here that were teachers of mine. When I was here, I struggled academically. And there were so many times where I was like, how am I going to do anything after high school? Like, I am struggling. How am I going to even make it out of high school? And Dara saw me right where I was at and called out people skills in me. I didn't know that was a skill. And she called that out in me, and I just needed something that I was good at. And she saw that, and that's really, I stuck with her for all those 4 years because I saw I'm excelling in some place. I can talk to people, I can see people, I can meet people too. She taught me how to meet people where they're at. And while I was struggling academically, Dara held me up. And I just remember thinking to myself, I was like a sponge at the time, like, how can I get more? I used to sit at the front desk and eat my lunch there. I would say, I'm gonna sit with Mrs. Burdett and Dara and eat my lunch and just sponge. Like, I just wanted more. I wanted to understand more. I wanted to be more like them. And Wheaton Academy is such a special place that equips you to be able to be surrounded by people that will pour into you like that.
So good.
So yeah.
So good. I love that. And students and teachers, I hope you'll hear what Gabby said. It wasn't reading the Bible or an intentional Bible study or anything like that. It was demonstrating what it looked like to live a Christ-like life and to love others and to call the things out in you and to lift you up. That's a really special thing. Way to go, Dara. Annika, yeah, go ahead. We can applaud a lot today. It's good. Good. Annika, now here's you. So Gabby's 5 years ago. You find yourself as a teacher's assistant in the front office. It's pretty fun to walk in there, and it's Dara, Annika, and Jill. Like you're running the place. I mean, tell me a little bit in just these first few weeks, this first month or so of school. What have you recognized about Dara that's been like special to you?
Yeah, I would say, every single day, like, I walk in second period, and, like, everyone has said, like, Dara always has, like, a smile on her face. She literally is just, like, such a joy. And I come in and sit down, and she can tell if I was, like, stressed out about something, or if I needed, like, to take some time to do homework. She is, like, just always there just to, like, talk to me, and she asks me, like, about soccer, and, like, because she knows, like, my busy schedule with practices and games all the time, but yeah, she just is always thinking about others before herself, which I just have really appreciated.
Love that. Are there some things already kind of rubbing off on you that, as you're thinking about your future and what you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, just like seeing like the way that she like interacts with students. I hope to be like a teacher and interact with high school students too someday. And so just seeing even just how, even though she's not in a classroom, but she interacts with probably like all of us in this room at some point during the school year. So just seeing how she treats everybody that walks in is just like super just like encouraging, and like, yeah, I can just apply it to my life of like I should treat everyone the way that Mrs. Fernandez does.
Love that. Dara, I have to tell you, Annika told me the other day, she said that she's going to be the new Mrs. Fernandez. That when you retire, she's never retiring, so sorry, but if there is an occasion, that says a lot. Mr. Bolt, you've known Dara for a long time. I know there's something special just about her being an employee when you came to Wheaton Academy. Tell us a little bit about that and what she's meant to our school from your view.
Yeah, so my first year,
we needed a receptionist, and I believe Mrs. Fernandez was one of the first people I ever hired here, and I would say one of the absolute best hires here. You know, we talk a lot about teachers and staff being the living curriculum. You know, they're really what and who teach us how to live just by the way that they act. And I think you're hearing that that's the case with Mrs. Fernandez. I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you have received a smile, an encouraging word, a warm greeting, something like that from Mrs. Fernandez? Just raise your hand. Wow. And I'm guessing like you, when you walk into the front office and are greeted by Mrs. Fernandez, that's like a jolt of energy, a bolt of lightning, really, for your heart, for your soul. It just fills me up when I come there. And I will admit that working with Mrs. Fernandez that long, she does not take herself too seriously. She takes, there's nobody, I don't think, who's more fun to tease, and I have enjoyed that. So I probably need to ask for some forgiveness from the stage here, Mrs. Fernandez. I trust that you will forgive me, and I trust you will tolerate much more of that.
So good, so good. Well, we're so grateful for you, and we could just do a parade of people up here to share what you've meant to us, and we're really grateful for you. And when we think about this in the context of homecoming and a distinguished alumna, it's not just what you do for us in the day-to-day that are right here in front of us. But when we think over the years and the importance of this award, you represent the kingdom and you represent Wheaton Academy in such an honorable and admirable way. And we're so grateful for you. Steve, would you like to just offer a word of congratulations and get her up on this stage for a little bit of time?
Mrs. Fernandez, come up on stage here. Well, let me share just a couple more things about this award. This is the first time in my 20 years at Wheaton Academy, and maybe longer, that our Distinguished Alum of the Year award has gone to somebody who actually works at Wheaton Academy. So that's a pretty special thing. Sets you apart from many others. This award is given to somebody who has left Wheaton Academy and done something very meaningful with their lives. Done something that we always recognize an Alum of the Year who we want to put in front of you and say, hey, here is an example of how we would encourage you to live your life. And I know just from the raising of hands a couple minutes ago that Mrs. Fernandez has impacted, I saw almost every hand up. And it's not what she does each day. What she does is a wide array of things that, as I said on the video, would be really hard for a lot of us to sustain for a day, for a week, but for nearly 2 decades is absolutely incredible. And it's not what you do, it's how you do it. That is so special. That's what That's what makes you deserving of being our Distinguished Alum of the Year. And so we are so proud to award Mrs. Fernandez as the 2025 Distinguished Wheaton Academy Alum.
You guys want to help throw?
We have some pretty sweet shirts. As you can see, faculty and staff have those. We have a few extras that we're just going to give some very fortunate people.
Well, guys, what a fun day. What a fun day and a fun time. And I hope you guys will just take a second. Just take a second as we think about the day. We talk about this quite frequently. We talk about this quite frequently for us to be sober-minded and pure of heart. I hope that you would take the moment today just to soak in what you've heard from Annika Pearson, from Dara's friends, just knowing who Dara is. And just for a second, if you would think, what an incredible week we have had, what fun we are having right now. And I know it's so difficult for you to do, but I want you to try to see your life 5, 10, 15 years down the road, responding to all that God calls you to do and drawing on the foundation that is being laid for you here at Wheaton Academy. We love this place and are excited about what it's doing, not just today, but tomorrow, here, and around the world. I want to pray, and then we'll release you guys to fourth period. Lord, we are grateful for your presence with us. We thank you so much for Annika Pearson. We thank you for the work that you are doing in her life. Thank you for the service that she is rendering to our country. We are so grateful for that. Grateful for her teachers and faculty and staff that poured into her and gave her a tenacious and curious spirit to go out and do incredible things for your kingdom and for the world in which she lives. Lord, we thank you for Mrs. Fernandez, for the humility, the joy, the excellence that she brings to the work she does here at Wheaton Academy. We pray that you would bless her, fill her heart with the love that you have for her, that all of us want to send her way. Thank you for how she serves this place in your kingdom so humbly and with such excellence. Lord, I pray as we finish out this week of homecoming, as we finish out our day in the classroom and with the pep rally, give us great joy. Build our community, unify us under the banner of the cross, and may all we do honor you and glorify you. It's in your name we pray. And all God's people said, amen. See ya.